Now on Nightside, a water main break leads to a sinkhole on a major Spokane road. We'll tell you how to get around the road closure during your morning commute.
And the heat is building back up across the western United States, and we're going to get a little bit too in the inland Northwest. I'll show you how hot it gets.
And 3 14-year-olds arrested with realistic-looking guns. What crime the sheriff's office says they might also be connected to. You're watching 4 News Now Nightside.
Water flowing down Freya, quite an inconvenience for drivers on the South Hill today who've had to navigate part of a major road closed for repairs because of a water main break. Thanks for staying up with us tonight. I'm Kirsten O'Connor.
And I'm Aaron Luna. Construction crews are working overnight trying to repair that water main break once again on Freya. Freya from 11th to 17th Avenue is closed right now. Our Rania Kaur spoke to one woman who had a front row seat to the construction. Rania.
This is what's right in front of Jeanette Barrett's yard on 12th and Freya. Since this morning, she's seen the city of Spokane's water department trying to fix the road when a sinkhole opened up this morning. There is a detour on 11th and on 17th, and people are asked to avoid the area. Barrett says she was inside when she heard a noise and saw water pouring from the side of the street. Her biggest problem was getting her car out of the garage, which is right along Freya.
I got my car. When they told me to move my car, they said go straight back, do not turn, because you could see where the dip was in the road. Do not turn, go straight back and drive down the other side of the road to get your car out. So I had to bring it around, and I'm parked in front of my house now, so at least I can drive.
A City of Spokane wastewater vacuum truck discovered water flowing down Freya this morning and pulled over, not knowing it was on top of the water main break, causing a sinkhole to open up. The city has not released a time for when the road will reopen. Aaron, Kirsten.
Thank you, Rania. New on Nightside, we now know the name for the new stadium being built in downtown Spokane. The school board approving the name One Spokane. SPS plans to open the stadium by the end of September, just in time for the high school football season.
Also new on Nightside, 3 14-year-olds are in juvenile detention tonight in connection to multiple car thefts in the valley. The Spokane County Sheriff's Office says each of them was carrying a realistic-looking pellet gun at the time of their arrest. On your screen right now are the photos of the pellet guns. Deputies eventually tracked them down to the Spokane Valley Mall. When confronted, one of them surrendered. The other 2 ran but were eventually caught. Deputies say they recovered theft tools, stolen credit cards, and 3 realistic-looking pellet guns. All 3 juveniles were charged with attempted theft of a motor vehicle. Additional charges could be added later. Well, enjoy those cool evenings because we are headed for a hot, dry weekend.
Temperatures are climbing back to the upper 90s by this weekend. Meteorologist Matt Gray is in for Chris tonight with your first alert forecast.
Well, if you really enjoyed, or maybe you didn't enjoy those temperatures.
Looks like we're having a little issue with the mic there. Let's see if we can't get Matt to turn his mic on. Look at that map, record heat. Do you want to play weather person for a second?
Well, you don't really need anybody to tell you how hot it is when you look at that red. And I guess we're just lucky we're not in Southern California right now, Matt.
Can you hear me now?
No, looks like we're still having mic issues, looks like. We'll get back to Matt in just a second. Well, the off-campus home where Kaylee Gonsalves, Xana Kernodle, Ethan Chapin, and Madison Mogan were murdered won't be demolished until October. The home was given to the University of Idaho earlier this year, and the house has already been released by the court. The university says remediation of the house, which includes lead and asbestos abatement, is still going on to prepare for demolition. U of I President Scott Green said in a statement, quote, "While we look forward to removing this grim reminder of this tragedy, we feel holding until October is the right thing to do."
We have new photos of a camp trailer that was hit by a train yesterday near the Washington-Idaho border. The Spokane County Sheriff's Office says the man who was towing that trailer failed to stop for the train. Luckily, the train didn't hit the truck, but as you can see, the trailer was destroyed. Debris was dragged down the track for about a quarter mile. No one was injured. The driver was issued a fine. And fire crews are currently battling a wildfire burning in Whitman County. The level 3 evacuations have now been downgraded to level 2, meaning be prepared for anyone living near the Rock Lake fire. It's burning near Ewan and Rock Lake, which is about 45 minutes away from Spokane. And because of the wildfire, Highway 23 between and near Rock Lake is affected by this. Now we go to an update on a fire burning 10 miles west of Quincy, Washington. Now this has been called the Baird Springs fire, and evacuation notices for the surrounding area have now been downgraded to level 1, meaning be aware. Firefighters have kept the fire from spreading and they're mopping up hot spots. The cause of the fire remains under investigation. Highway 28 is back open. A tree falling on a power line sparked the fire that destroyed the town of Malden. It's been 3 years since then, and the town continues to rebuild. Now Avista is making changes as well. The power company is working to prevent future wildfires and keep homes safe. Crews are upgrading power lines for dry weather conditions to prevent the spread of wildfires. Avista's electric operations director David Howell says the goal is to decrease the potential for wildfires under the dry weather.
Fires that start outside of our system and potentially could impact wooden poles and burn and affect customers' reliability. And we're concerned with that. And so we harden our system to prevent that. The second thing is you can have debris, tree limbs that can be blown into our system, especially during windy days.
Howell says during the fire safety mode, the line stays out until crews determine it's safe to turn it back on, which could require more time to restore but reduce the fire danger. Avista says crews are ready to help you with power outages and vegetation removal. You can find more information on KXLY.com.
This Friday, Avista is planning a 4-hour power outage for nearly 400 customers in and around Kettle Falls. That's going to happen from 11 to 3 in the afternoon. Crews will be performing equipment maintenance. Avista says it will notify those who will be without power.
A Toppenish, Washington man was sentenced to 8 years in prison after pleading guilty to 2 counts of involuntary manslaughter. According to court documents, in June of 2017, 47-year-old Brandon Root was driving on the Yakima Nation under the influence when he crossed the center line, hitting another car head-on at 2:30 a.m. It killed 2 people and hurt 2 others. Root had a blood alcohol concentration level of 0.10.
Time for a quick look at sports. I'm Julian Minitso. You just saw it here on KXLY. The best athletes and teams across the sports world were honored at the ESPY Awards tonight, and there was not a dry eye in the house during the presentation for the Pat Tillman Award for Service. The honor went to the Buffalo Bills training staff, and the man who introduced the award was the person whose life was saved by that same training staff, Bills safety Damar Hamlin. Hamlin went into cardiac arrest during a game against the Cincinnati Bengals 6 months ago. In that span, Hamlin has recovered enough to participate in team practices, and it was all thanks to these first responders on scene. And there were a number of Seattle athletes nominated for the ESPY Awards as well, including one from the Seattle Mariners. We have those results coming up later in sports. Live in the studio, Julian Minitso for News Now Sports.
Julian, thank you. Still ahead, plans for a dog park on the South Hill are changing again. See where the city may soon put an official dog park coming up on Nightside.
Track live radar on the 4 News Now weather app.
4 News Now is brought to you by the Great Northwest Gathering Auto Show.
Own the elements. Quattro in the Audi Q5.
Let's go, buddy.
Get exceptional offers at your local Audi dealer.
From the very beginning, we've been taught safety is very important. It's an act of love. When we're on the road, every action we take gets everyone to a safer place. Each of us can make a difference. Slow down. Ride sober. Get endorsed. Get training. Alone, we are strong. Together, we are stronger. And together, we get there.
Get a free Makita Impact Driver Kit or a Pit Boss grill now when you build a deck with wood decking or TimberTech or Trex composite decking and railing from Par. Visit par.com for details.
What are you going to build?
Pop the champagne, humanity. We've done it.
Celebrate your night with big winners, shocking thrills, and living legends.
No, I've always thought of you as Dave Jr.
Every hair on my body is standing up right now.
Jimmy Kimmel Live, weeknights on ABC.
Own the elements. Quattro in the Audi Q5.
Let's go, buddy.
Get exceptional offers at your local Audi dealer.
4 News Now is brought to you by Rebath Spokane.
A new community center that's helping Spokane's Hispanic and Indigenous communities is now open in Spokane. The organization offers everything from mental health services to clothing and a food bank.
Nuestra Raíces, formerly known as the Hispanic Business Professionals Association, has a location or had a location in downtown Spokane. Now they'll be headquarters on Sprague. Nuestra Raíces moved into the space several weeks ago. The organization says they needed a larger space to accommodate the growing population in Spokane that need their services. Celeste Bravo, a college student who has watched the organization grow, says for her it feels like their community is finally home.
Our programs like Alianza and Esperanza, I feel like just like with this space, it provides a more permanent thing for people to come to, and people can recognize it easier that it's us, and just a safer space for people.
The organization says they hope to expand to a youth center in the future. They already have a program called Luna for college students.
Let's head over to Matt Gray, who's in for Chris tonight with your first alert forecast.
And it is all about the heat as we head over the next couple of days and into the weekend across the western U.S. Got another one of these heat domes. We're pretty familiar with that from a couple of years ago, but instead of being right in the center, we're going to be on the edge. Still, this one's big enough to where we're going to have some pretty toasty temperatures by the time we get to Saturday and Sunday. You can see that heat building in the west, and that kind of blocks off some of this cooler air that's going to try and work its way into the northwest. At least it's going to block it off for a couple of days. And further south, yeah, all that red, as Kirsten put it when my microphone died in the middle of the show, where we're talking about record heat. They're talking about maybe getting above 130 degrees, which would be close to the all-time record there in Death Valley this weekend. So, yeah, be lucky you're up here only dealing with, 98 degrees by Sunday. We had a very similar weekend last weekend, so we're basically just, I don't know, Mother Nature decided she was going to copy and paste, and here we are with some pretty hot weather. Any activities you got planned for this weekend? Extra water, because, man, it's going to be tough out there. What we're not going to see is thunderstorm activity, and that's because as that high pressure builds, that heat dome builds, it's going to push all that moisture out of here. We saw a little bit of storm activity in our northern counties today. We're seeing a tiny bit more, but not nearly as active as it was. And so for places like around Bonners Ferry and the Selkirks and perhaps around Medellin Falls, we might get 1 or 2 little showers, little storms that pop up and track across the region as we go through the afternoon. But it really is just that very kind of upper northeastern corner of the inland northwest that will have a chance at that. Spokane, Coeur d'Alene, down to the Palouse and the LC Valley, and then across to the Cascades will be staying dry. And, well, these numbers are a little outdated, but look, we are way behind, friends, with rain, and likely going to see an upgrade to our drought, an unfortunate upgrade by the time we get to the new drought monitor tomorrow, which we'll bring you here on 4 News Now. So for tomorrow, mid-80s and upper 80s in the afternoon. Really looks like a beautiful day. Lots of sunshine and clear skies. Clear skies, good for stargazing. And I've had some astronomical related questions come up lately. I'll address those coming up.
Thank you. It's a win-win for dog owners on the South Hill and families who live near Minnehaha Park in Spokane. Plans to build a new dog park on Upriver Drive. Those have been put on pause.
This new location that's been discussed for months now is meant to replace the dog park on the South Hill, located near Mullen Elementary and Carla Pepperzak Middle School. The Minnehaha Neighborhood Council saying that new location would have disrupted the wildlife in the area and it would have required a parking lot, adding to more traffic. The Parks Department says it's the best decision to put a pause on the plan and focus on improving the High Bridge Dog Park, a decision people say they're pleased to hear.
Out of the woods yet, okay, with that, but we wholeheartedly will be there at the board meeting, and hopefully the board will concur with the parks staff's recommendations.
Families on the South Hill have been saying for months the Upriver Drive location was too far, and the Parks Department is now recommending adding a two-acre location right near the original South Hill Dog Park. The Parks Department will present its recommendation to the board tomorrow. North Idaho libraries can see some big changes coming. Special events like live musical performances and the bookmobile put on through the Community Library Network in North Idaho could get scrapped if the board can't balance its budget in the next 3 weeks.
During the last board meeting, the board proposed many major changes to the library network, including talks to break off from the American Library Association. These talks concern some people who use the library. One of the newest changes this board would like to make is to see a shift in the power for choosing which books are available in the libraries from the library staff to the board, which has transformed in the last few weeks. Rachel Otson was elected by the board just a few weeks ago, unseating longtime trustee Katie Blank. During a board meeting on Friday, she added an item to amend the library's material selection policy. When we asked people at the library what they think about the potential change, some people were concerned.
I don't agree with it, so.
And why?
Huh? Well, we have the Constitution of the United States, so, you know. So with them, to me, that's government speech, so it is restricting.
Deciding what books would and wouldn't be allowed in the library wasn't the only potential change that could be coming to the library network. If it can't balance its budget in the next few weeks, it could have to cut all special events. 4 News Now will continue to track these changes. We'll be right back.
Later tonight on Nightline, the plight of deported veterans after fighting for their country. Will they ever be able to return home? Plus, one-on-one with Jason Derulo, sharing his secrets for living the life of your dreams.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
This summer, happiness is a new Chevy. You can go farther, tow more,
I know, it's up.
and bring along everyone you love. Your road to happiness begins in a new Chevy. Get 1.9% financing on all 2023 Silverado 1500 Crew Cab LT Turbo Max pickups, or get $4,250 total cash allowance when you trade in an eligible vehicle. See your hometown Chevy dealer today.
Wow, what a great vacation.
Yeah, no kidding. The new hotel, the casino, Maslow's Steakhouse.
Don't forget the triple head shower.
Trust me, I haven't. I feel 1,000,000 miles away.
You're not.
I understand that.
I just ran home and fed the dog.
Don't ruin this for me.
The largest casino resort in the Pacific Northwest is right in your backyard, thanks to our brand new River Tower Hotel in Northern Quest.
Hepatitis C? Don't just treat it. Crush it with Maverick.
Conquer it with Maverick.
Cure it with Maverick. Maverick cures all types of Hep C.
In only 8 weeks.
The virus multiplies daily and can damage the liver over time. Maverick stops Hep C and cures it. If you've had hepatitis B, it may flare up and cause serious liver problems during and after treatment. Tell your doctor if you've had Hep B, a liver or kidney transplant, other liver problems, HIV, other medical conditions, and all your medicines. Do not take Maverick with atazanavir or rifampin. Report right away yellow skin, stomach pain or swelling, confusion and bleeding or bruising.
Hep C? Crush it with Maverick.
Conquer it.
Cure it in only 8 weeks. See Hep C gone with Maverick.
Ask your doctor about Maverick. AbbVie could help you save.
It's easy to get lost in investment research. Introducing JP Morgan Personal Advisors.
Hey, David.
Connect with an advisor to create your personalized plan.
Let's find the right investments for your goals.
Okay, great.
JP Morgan Wealth Management.
4 News Now is brought to you by Ace Hardware.
4 things to know about your weather. Well, we've covered it already. There's a warming trend going on. We'll see lots of sunshine. It is kind of those some of those perfect midsummer days, as long as the temperature doesn't get too hot. Mountain storms that we showed you earlier as well, beginning to leave, and it's all leading up to a scorching weekend. As for this evening, well, temperatures are going to get into the 60s eventually, but they're not going to drop any more than that. And, well, lots of clear skies as we get into the morning. Definitely try and walk the dog a little bit early because we'll already be in the upper 70s. And, in fact, I think many parts around Metro Spokane will be in the 80s already before lunchtime. It certainly felt that way at my house today. Our lows tonight officially 60 in Spokane, 60 in Coeur d'Alene, still some 40s out there in our northern mountains, 49 in Colville, 50s for Winthrop and Omak, 50s on the Palouse, and upper 60s in the LC Valley. Now, I've been getting a few questions here because there was some big viral thing going on about the aurora was going to show up tomorrow night. Well, here is the latest forecast here, and well, you got to get up to this line here. You got to get up to number 5 to be able to see it in the inland northwest with any reliability. And Wednesday into Thursday, Friday might be your best chance, but don't know where that came from. But if you were thinking about, oh, I'm going to go out tomorrow night and see the aurora, don't think it's going to happen, y'all. 87 in Spokane, 85 in Coeur d'Alene for tomorrow. More 90s on the board in central Washington, and so those 90s will continue to expand. For the Metro, this is our last day in the 80s tomorrow, and we're back into the 90s on Friday, and then there's that weekend. Mid-90s Saturday, upper 90s with some low 100s scattered around the region on Sunday. And then here's where things get squirrely. So we get into Monday, and very similar to what we saw at the beginning of this week, we cool down by like 10 degrees, but gusty winds come along with that. Humidity still going to be very low. There's basically no chance of rain with this particular influx of cool air. And so we have another day where we're going to be likely talking about some fire weather. We'll see if this holds here over the next couple of days. And that leads us to our pick of the night. It is hot out there. It's hot for the little baby birds, too. This is from Norgen and Cooley Dam, where the mama osprey is trying to create some shade for the little baby. After all, you got to stay hydrated out there.
Well, that's for sure. Matt, thank you. Well, good news for your wallet. New data from the federal government shows inflation continued to slow last month for the 12th month in a row. This is a big change from last June when prices climbed at their fastest annual rate since November of 1981. In addition to food prices moderating, gas prices are down 26% from last year. Inflation remains above the Federal Reserve's target rate of 2%.
This isn't a much better place, but it's not yet to the promised land of where we want to be. We still see some elevated prices for things that are important.
Those are things like shelter costs, which remain stubbornly high and accounted for the bulk of the June increase, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics.
And speaking of, inflation's impact is different depending on if you own or rent your home. Bank of America analyzed customers' payments to identify homeowners and renters. And analysts found a big difference between the two groups when it comes to spending money on things other than housing. That's because rent costs have soared, but the majority of homeowners' monthly payments have stayed the same. Since mortgage rates, though, have doubled in the last year, it's likely the spending difference between the two groups will narrow over time. Investigators are still searching for the murder suspect who broke out of a Pennsylvania prison last Thursday.
Now the search has expanded as investigators use tools like DNA tests, and they're looking for the operator of a drone seen in the area at the time of the escape. CNN's Emily Schmidt has more on the search effort.
On the 6th full day after Michael Burham allegedly crawled up on gym equipment, pushed through a roof, and used a rope made of bedsheets to escape from a Pennsylvania prison, Warren County commissioners said they found the problem.
The fundamental problem is that there was a structural weakness in the cage on the roof. That's it. As far as the facility goes.
What they have not found is the 34-year-old accused of kidnapping and burglary and suspected in a homicide.
Let me say that I am so sorry for the sleepless nights that we've all experienced and the cloud of uncertainty that is yet to give way to answers.
Police say they are interviewing possible accomplices and conducting DNA testing on items at sites where they believe Burham may have been. They're also checking a possible connection to a drone sighting.
I'm not a big believer in coincidences, but what I would tell you is that just prior to the escape, there was a drone flying in that area. It could be that there is a perfectly innocent and reasonable explanation. It could also be that it was somehow connected to his escape.
Police say they've received more than 500 tips, and they are concerned Burham is armed.
I would say that I have even more concern than I did a few days ago.
Warren County commissioners say though remote cameras watched Burham as he escaped, he was faster than anyone could respond. But state police Wednesday say they are confident.
He should be uncomfortable with the manhunt that is going on.
The escapee's lead will disappear. I'm Emily Schmidt reporting.
Coming up next in sports, how one local bodybuilder isn't letting his age stop him from winning a national championship.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
Is it your day to water? Know if you are odd or even and be water-wise this summer.
Welcome to the Prank Panel, the show that helps regular people destroy their relationships just for a cheap laugh. Prankster wannabes came to us to help pull off their pranks bigger, better, and stupider than they could imagine.
I like that it doesn't hurt anyone.
Yet.
I'd love to take on your prank.
Let's bring on the clown.
Oh my God. Who could have guessed that this would have been messy?
New The Prank Panel, Sunday on ABC and stream on Hulu.
Since 1982, it's been our family's commitment to delight wine lovers with affordable Washington State award-winning wines. Our father-daughter winemaking team deliver a unique experience with every bottle.
Cheers.
Wildfires can strike at any time. 4 News Now Fire Watch coverage keeps you safe.
Where a brush fire has shut down Highway 195.
4 News Now, alerting you, delivering crucial information when and where you need it to protect your family.
Multiple fires burning right now in both Washington and Idaho.
Tell us about the state of the fire right now.
When every second counts, count on 4 News Now, on TV and on the go with the 4 News Now app. That's what we mean when we say, expect more.
This is your summer to smile, to raise your glass and reconnect, to reel in the fun and serve up great times. To help you get ready, your Aspen Dental team is celebrating 25 years of affordable care with an epic Summer of Smiles event. Right now, new patients without insurance get a free full exam and x-rays. Plus, everyone can get 20% off their treatment plan. But hurry, because while these summer savings won't last, the memories you make together will. Aspen Dental. Book today.
Join us in celebrating 41 years of Latah Creek Winery. Don't miss your chance to taste Elena's fabulous food, sip Mike and Natalie's Double Gold winning Reserve Red Blend, and save with our special anniversary discounts.
Cheers.
Welcome back. Thanks for tuning into sports. I'm Julian Minensow. Now, when you think of bodybuilding, you think of the names Arnold Schwarzenegger or Lou Ferrigno. Both started competing as teenagers, so it's not every day somebody begins bodybuilding in their 60s. Well, let me introduce you to Mike Beggs, who is proving forever fit is forever young. For Mike Beggs, home is where the gym is. And that's right here in Chattaroy, Washington.
When we leave the gym, we're all ready to come back for the next workout.
At 65 years old, those workouts help him win competitions like this.
Welcome to the stage, our first competitor, #1, Mike Beggs.
I've got 6 in a row.
Of Chattaroy, Washington, from Top Gun Fitness.
Mike has been a competitive bodybuilder for nearly 3 years. He's already won a Triple Crown by taking first place in 3 different competitions.
By the dieting and the just the amount of effort that we're putting into the extra reps anymore and really trying to follow this through, I'm still growing in places that I never thought I'd grow.
Power lifts and protein aren't the whole story. Mike derives extra motivation from Tammy, his wife and workout partner. The two began this fitness journey by competing in arm wrestling tournaments together.
This is when we went to Russia.
Yeah.
It was our
Tammy and I was part of Team USA.
Team USA. We just kind of got so preoccupied with our children, life, our business, and kind of forgot about ourselves. So it was really nice to be able to dedicate, let's do some time to get back in and feel good.
Over the last decade, the average age of Mr. Olympia is about 36 years old. But age is just a number. Just ask Mike.
these goals we've been winning one at a time and then just going right to the next one, you know, that's where it gets surprising on what can be done if we keep up this pace.
Mike is hoping to add one more at the National Bodybuilding Competition later this month.
The only reason I wouldn't do it is lack of discipline. So it's just something I got to grab.
Nobody picks on a strong man, no matter how old.
It's the daily things that are the most gratitude. You know, some days will be a little rougher than others, but not too bad, depending on how your discipline is. But if you hold each other accountable and you keep attaining the goal, pretty soon it becomes your lifestyle. And that's where I think I'd like to see people stay with what they're doing.
Mike will hope to take home another trophy at the National Bodybuilding Competition next week in Pittsburgh. Now, the biggest names in sports were honored at tonight's ESPY Awards. There were a few Seattle athletes who were nominated as well. Seattle Mariners outfielder Julio Rodriguez was nominated for Best Breakthrough Athlete. Rodriguez did not win the honor. That went to the woman on your screen right there, LSU women's basketball player Angel Reese. Former Seattle Storm player Breanna Stewart was nominated for Best WNBA player. That award ended up going to Asia Wilson of the Las Vegas Aces, but still cool to be nominated nonetheless. Best female athlete went to right there, Olympic skier Michaela Schifrin. Best male athlete went to Kansas City Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes, and the Chiefs also won Best Team. And that'll wrap us up for sports.
Julian, thank you. People in Spokane love to play pickleball.
Yeah, they do.
It's true.
Yeah. If you ever go by one of the, is it a court?
Yes, it is.
You hear the little pop, pop. Some neighbors don't like it, but a lot of people do. It's not uncommon to see people playing Washington's official state sport down at Mission Park at any given time. Doctors are seeing an increase in pickleball-related injuries across the U.S. because of its popularity. So the number of people playing pickleball grew by 159% over 3 years to nearly 9 million in 2022. That's according to the Sports and Fitness Industry Association. Doctors say the sport is a great way to stay active, but it's not without some risk. Players are encouraged to find a balance of fun and fitness.
Always has fun, but always with moderation.
So to help protect against getting hurt, remember to use proper equipment and work to strengthen your lower body and core. We'll be right back.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app. At 4 News Now, we believe you should expect more from local news. Our team is committed to a community conversation and bringing you information you need when and where you need it. Numerica believes in and supports that mission.
If your checking account isn't earning you money, it's time to switch to bonus checking from Numerica. The account that earns an incredible 2% annual percentage yield. That could earn you up to $500 every year or more.
Spokane's hottest music.
Break me so done with you, girl. I've been popping, man, I feel just like a rock star.
Hot 96.9. Wildfires can strike at any time. 4 News Now Fire Watch coverage keeps you safe on TV and on the go to protect your family.
Tracking the largest local wildfire.
Stay safe all fire season long on 4 News Now.
Starting a new chapter can be the most thrilling thing in the world. There's an abundance of reasons to get started. How far we take an idea is a question of willpower. Because progress
is a matter of character.
Four News Now breaking news coverage.
Flights are currently not allowed to land because of a bomb threat.
2 separate mass shootings in 2 days.
The news you need to keep your family safe.
The fire causing nearby homes and businesses to be evacuated.
That fire broke out around 11:30 a.m. this morning. It sparked up in this house here on the right.
Delivering breaking news wherever you are.
Still negotiating. They just brought in a large command center.
Over the air, online, live as it's happening. That's what we mean when we say expect more. See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.
A big congratulations if you stayed up late with us. Bet you didn't even realize it's past your bedtime by a whopping 7 minutes. Good for you.
I realize.